Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake up the entire NFC South and really send shockwaves through the league. Rumors are swirling, whispered from sources close to the NFL, about a blockbuster trade that could send TJ Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, you heard that right. Watt, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league, potentially wearing the black and red of the Falcons. Now I know what you're thinking. Sounds crazy, right? But the NFL is a league where rumors like this can become reality, especially when teams are looking to shake things up and prepare for a new chapter. Let's start with the basics. TJ Watt at 31 is still playing at an elite level. This guy is a game changer on defense, consistently making opponents' lives miserable. In 2025, he racked up 12 sacks and forced 4 fumbles in just 14 games. His pressures, a staggering 65 with an elite PFF pass rush grade of 89. 5 and a pressure rate of about 24%. That means he's constantly in the backfield, disrupting plays and putting quarterbacks under pressure. His ability to generate QB hits, 24 in 14 games, and force fumbles makes him one of the most feared defenders in the league. And let's not forget, Watt's career totals are mind-blowing. 110 sacks, 450 pressures, and an overall PFF grade of 88. 0. His EPA per sack is 17, which is stellar, putting him in the top tier of edge rushers. Now, the Steelers, coming off a 7-10 season, are in a tough spot financially. They're facing a cap crunch with around $55 million in cap space for 2026, but a hefty $27. $1 million cap hit for Watt alone in 2025. That's a significant chunk of their future budget dedicated to one player, especially when the team is transitioning with a 7-10 record and looking to rebuild. Rumors suggest that Pittsburgh might be open to trading Watt for a second-round pick in 2026, which makes sense given their cap constraints and their focus on developing young talent. They're reportedly prioritizing a rebuild, and moving Watt could free up around $21 million in cap space, giving them some breathing room to bring in new players and focus on the future. But here's where it gets super interesting for us Falcons fans. The trade would not just be about cap space or draft picks. It's about elevating the entire defense. The Falcons have been trying to solidify their pass rush and bring a true game wrecker to the edge. After losing Hughes to injury, our pass rush has looked a little thin, especially with Ebakti struggling to find consistency. Adding Watt would instantly transform that unit, giving us a double threat on the outside that offenses would have to game plan around. Watt's ability to set the edge and collapse the pocket would be a massive upgrade for Atlanta. Now, let's talk about the potential impact if this trade happens. For starters, Watt's presence on the edge would make the Falcons' defense significantly more aggressive and disruptive. Imagine him lining up opposite Ebakti, creating a formidable duo that offenses would have nightmares about. Watt's elite pressure rate, combined with his knack for forcing turnovers, he's averaging about 0.35 turnovers per game over his career, could lead to more sacks, more forced fumbles, and ultimately more points scored for Atlanta. His ability to reduce quarterback time and force hurried throws would help our secondary, which needs all the help it can get after recent injuries and inconsistent play. And on the other side of the ball, this kind of defensive upgrade could be the catalyst for a real turnaround. The Falcons have been trending upward, winning games, especially against divisional rivals like the Bucs, where a plus 23% win probability boost is possible with a player like Watt on the field. His presence alone might be enough to change the tide of close games, giving the Falcons that extra edge they need to climb the standings. Plus, having a player of Watt's caliber could boost the confidence of our entire defense, inspiring the younger guys like Ebakti to elevate their game. But it's not just about Watt's immediate impact. It's also about signaling to the league and to our division that the Falcons are serious contenders. A move like this sends a message. We're not here to just compete, we want to dominate. It's a statement of intent, showing that Atlanta is ready to go all in for a Super Bowl run. Think about the playoff implications. Adding Watt could significantly improve our odds, especially considering that he's a proven playoff performer with 10 career sacks in the postseason and a reputation for stepping up when it matters the most. Of course, there are skeptics. Some say that trading for Watt at this stage might not be the best move, given his age and the cost involved. The Steelers could be asking for a lot, and Atlanta would need to navigate cap space carefully. But adding Watt isn't just about this season. It's about building a defense that can contend for years to come. His elite pass rush ability, combined with our already promising young core, could be the foundation of a truly feared unit. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade could also influence the entire NFC South. The division has been somewhat unpredictable lately, with the Bucs and Saints trying to find consistency and the Panthers still rebuilding. If Atlanta manages to land Watt, it could very well shift the balance of power, making us a top contender in the division and a serious threat in the NFC. Imagine a defense that can consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks, force turnovers, and keep our offense on the field longer. It's a recipe for winning big games and making a deep playoff run. Now, let's not forget the historical context. There's a precedent for these types of moves. Remember how Von Miller's trade to the Bills in 2022 invigorated their pass rush. The Bills went from a decent defense to a top-tier unit, and Miller's 14 sacks helped them make a real playoff push. If Watt joins the Falcons, we could see a similar boost. Our defense, which struggled at times last season, giving up around 28 points per game, could see that number dip closer to 22 or even lower with Watt's disruptive presence. His ability to set the tone from the front would be invaluable. And then there's the mental edge. Having a player like Watt, who's been an All-Pro multiple times, on your team is a huge confidence boost. It elevates everyone around him, from Ebakti to our secondary and even our coaching staff, who would have a premier pass rusher to game plan around. Plus, the cap savings from trading him could also help us retain other key pieces or bring in additional talent in free agency, further strengthening our roster. Of course, the rumors are just that, rumors, for now. But if they turn out to be true, expect the Falcons' entire defensive identity to shift dramatically. Watt's elite pass-rushing skills, his relentless motor, and his leadership qualities could be exactly what Atlanta needs to become a feared defense once again. It's about building a unit that not only competes but dominates, and in the process, puts the Falcons back on the map as serious Super Bowl contenders. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture for a second. The NFC South has been a bit of a toss-up recently, with the Bucs and Saints trying to find their footing and the Panthers still rebuilding. But if Atlanta manages to land Watt, it would send a message to the rest of the league. We're here to compete, and we're not messing around. That kind of statement could energize our entire team and fan base, pushing us toward that elusive Super Bowl goal. And with the NFL offseason already buzzing with rumors and speculation, this move could be the spark that ignites our season. Imagine Watt's impact in the playoffs, chasing quarterbacks, forcing turnovers, and helping seal victories. His 10 career playoff sacks prove he's a big-game player. Now picture him wearing the Falcons' colors, leading our defense to new heights and helping us finally break through that glass ceiling. So, Falcons fans, stay tuned because this story isn't over yet. Whether it's just a strong rumor or something more concrete, it highlights the kind of bold moves that can define an era. The potential to bring in a player like Watt is a game changer, and if it happens, it could be the start of a new chapter, one where Atlanta's defense is feared across the league, and our Super Bowl dreams become a reality. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Do you think Watt could be the missing piece that pushes us to the Super Bowl? Or do you believe the cost is too high? Whatever your thoughts, let's start the conversation. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this potentially on the horizon, the future looks bright. So keep the faith, Falcons fans, because big things are coming, and we're all in this together, chasing that ultimate goal. Another Super Bowl ring for Atlanta.